Hello! In part 1, I was in Copenhagen, ready to set sail around Denmark and Norway. I'd already had my first glimpse of Royal Caribbean's Voyager of the Seas, and in this episode, I'm going to take you on a tour of the ship and show you my favourite places on board. For my first stop, we'll start with my cabin. I had planned to save a bit of money and booked an inside cabin. However, I got offered a Royal Up upgrade, which is something Royal Caribbean do that allows you to bid to upgrade your cabin to a different level. You submit a bid how much you're willing to pay per person, and if you're lucky, they might upgrade your cabin. It's that old chestnut where it is per person, so as a solo traveller, I ended up paying for two, but even so, I bid £40 per person or £80 in total to upgrade from an inside cabin to an outside with a window view, and I was successful. That was still a lot cheaper than if I'd have actually booked that grade in the first place. So with the Royal Up upgrade, you don't get to choose your cabin. So I was allocated cabin 3600 on deck 3, still an outside window view cabin. I was a bit worried when I actually checked the deck plan because it's right next door to the Studio B ice rink. So I was a bit worried about any noise and also that it might actually be cold. As it happened, I really didn't need to worry. It's right at the bottom of a corridor, so there's no people walking around past you. Cabin was perfectly warm and I never heard a thing. So I always ask for my cabin to be set up with a double bed. You have that window view. There was a sofa, which was really quite nice. Just it's handy for just chucking all your stuff on, to be quite honest. And then through to the side, there was a bathroom with a shower and your usual toilet sink. All your towels provided. They do provide face flannels, which I always think is really useful. Overall, I was really happy with my cabin, especially that sea view. But now it was time to explore Voyager of the Seas. Also on deck 3 is the main dining room, which spreads over 3 levels. In Studio B, you can ice skate at sea, or there's a professional show that repeats a few times each week. Up on deck 4, you come to the tavern, which is a sports bar. There's the art gallery, and the casino. The onboard ship currency is US dollars, which includes my winnings as well. Through the casino is Schooner's Bar, where there's a piano player most nights. You can see deck 4 on the ship below the row of yellow lifeboats. This is Promenade deck, which is ideal for sailaways and for catching that sunset. At the front of the ship is the Royal Theatre. That has a show on every night, which repeats a couple of times. Then it's up onto deck 5, the Royal Promenade, which is the heart of the ship. On here, you've got the Cafe Promenade, which is perfect for the best thing about Royal Caribbean, unlimited pizza. They do have other food as well, and soft drinks are included. If, like me, you want to get in your 5 a day, you can always have a slice of blueberry pie. Along the Royal Promenade there are shops. And one of my favourite venues, the Pig and Whistle pub. There was entertainment in the pub almost every night. In the Star Lounge, there are game shows and bingo. The Royal Promenade also has prom parties, which everyone joined in. You can even book an inside cabin that overlooks the Royal Promenade. At the far end is guest services, shore excursions, and if you go up a level, you can go and book that future cruise. The lifts remind you what day it is, because you're on a cruise, you never know. Then it's up to deck 11, the pool deck. There's the main pool, which has 2 pools and a few jacuzzis. Or if something quieter, there's the solarium pool. Also, for more food, there's the Windjammer buffet. That's where I used to go for breakfast. On deck 12, you can go for those sail away views. Or, if you want to get your steps in on a sea day, there's the running track. I definitely only walked it. Heading up to deck 13, you have the sports deck, with loads of activities, depending on how adventurous you are. There's a sports court. Rock climbing wall. The perfect storm slide, which you can see from the back of the ship. And if you're really adventurous, have a go on the flow rider. For me, I stuck to mini golf. Nice and easy, and with a perfect view of the sea. And then you could head up to deck 14 and have a drink in the Viking Crown Lounge. This venue's great for watching the sail away, or if you like staying up, it's the home of the late night disco and a few silent discos as well. A perfect place to end the ship tour of Voyager of the Seas. Please subscribe, then you won't miss episodes 3 and 4, when I'll show you the places we visited on Voyager of the Seas cruise around Denmark and Norway.